show y'all.
Yeah.
I might not have no degree. I might be a single mom. I might be in my 20s with a kid and no man. But I'm going to show y'all I can still make something happen.
You know, something is honestly my favorite motivation.
Now you digging.
Yes.
Plot twist. I want it.
Welcome back to another episode of Talk About Hustle. Podcast where we dive into the minds of the most passionate people in the city. We are joined by, honestly, a powerhouse. She's a woman who is doing it all. She's a mother, a content creator, a rapper, and a baker. Yes, a fucking baker on top of all of that. She's turning her passions into projects, and she's setting the bar high with every video that she puts out. Literally, she's amazing and one of the most inspiring people to me when it comes to creating content and putting stuff out there for y'all to look into. Please welcome Ashley.
Thank you so much. That was the sweetest introduction I ever had.
I tried. I wanted to make sure that we highlighted everything about you because Ash Unlimited is unlimited. You do so much and you inspire me in so many different ways. Little do you know. You were one of the main reasons why I was like at one point, like my TikTok algorithm wasn't putting you in front of me for some reason, so I thought you stopped creating content. And so, okay, boom, see? But then you got back into it, and it's like, God damn, like, it's like you didn't even miss a stride. I'm like, videos are great, the content is good, the information is good, the hidden gems are bomb, the non-hidden gem videos are bomb, the videos about you growing as a person are amazing. It was inspiring to me, so I was like, I have to keep creating content, because I see people that I know who are passionate about it, and eventually they stop doing it. Yeah, it happens to the best of us, but picking it back up is what it's all about. So,
for you to even see that is crazy.
Really?
Yeah, I really faded all the way off the scene.
I peep game. It really bothered me because, again, you inspired me from the beginning. Like, you had a lot going on. The very first time we met, I didn't see the grow of it all, but from the second that we met, I was tuned in. Because I was just so amazed and like, holy shit. Like, when you said you rapped, I was like, all right, bro. Like, already you blew my mind before we got here. But then the fact that you rap, and then you rap it on your TikTok, I'm like, all right. So obviously, God didn't give me not an ounce of talent anyway. It gave you everything.
That's not true.
Yo, you couldn't know.
Thank you so much. Seriously.
Again, tell us about your journey. Tell us about why you create content. Who inspires you to make the content?
Yeah, so I grew up in like the ages of when you wanted to get on social media at the time, like Bebo or MySpace, you had to like go home and get on the computer and see what Soulja Boy was doing.
Facts.
Like that was the era I was in.
Bebo was crazy.
Man, I missed the MySpace era because I wasn't allowed to get on there. So by the time they said I could have a MySpace, that was the year MySpace cleared up because so I ended up getting a Facebook instead. Okay, fair. So I was a YouTube head, right? Okay. So it's funny to see these young kids going back to that, and that's their that's where they get their information because that was the original thing. Like, Hot Damn I Rock.
Oh shit! Yeah. Throwback no. Oh, what?
You know what I'm saying? What? Like that was the stuff we was on, and a lot of like smaller creators. I don't know what happened to them, but just seeing like kids dance from Atlanta and like, oh my God, I want to blow and all that. Yeah. So long story short, I asked for a camera. So I got a camera, a video recorder at the time in middle school, and I fell into rapping because my teacher said make 8 parts of speech, like something dealing with it, and you can get extra credit. And like I made a rap about it. And to this day, that video has 50,000 views on YouTube. Now, mind you, that's the only thing I've ever done on YouTube that's gotten past like 100 views.
But still.
But that's how I started rapping.
Okay.
But it was also like the beginning of my content creator journey. So like I didn't realize I was a content creator until I became like a Twitter content creator. This was that when we was doing the follow trains going into college. So like AU 13 or ASU 14, all that. It's like 2010 Twitter, I was like running it up. And I wanted to blow as a rapper from like my bedroom. So like I had the microphone, I had Pro Tools or I forgot what I had. Man, I had that mic and I had Twitter and I was just like doing whatever I could. So I like finally got my account up to 50,000 followers.
Dang, okay.
But like I said, I still didn't realize I was an influencer until like the last few years. Like I just didn't really process that I've been doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it was the rapper thing. Like when I got to school, everybody already knew who I was. Let me explain. I didn't grow up in the thick of the culture. Like, I was ducked off in Pelham.
Okay.
I didn't go to any of the Pelham schools. I was at Catholic schools within Birmingham. So when I tell you, like, I was a hidden gem, it was kind of like, who is this girl? Because we know her from online, but
nobody know you.
Yeah, I wasn't at Ramsey. I wasn't at none of them spots.
Yeah.
Boom. I shifted that energy into real life when I got to the school, and rapping, like, I think I was really making traction.
Yeah.
But long story short, I ended up taking a semester off, which ended up not, like, I didn't go back to school, came home, ended up getting pregnant. Once I got pregnant, my priorities changed.
Of course.
And so I was real butthurt about the whole rapping thing for a long time. Like, man, like, this isn't gonna happen because it doesn't make money, and I need to make money.
Yeah.
So I was just like working jobs, paying me minimum wage, just trying to do something while I was pregnant. And my mom had been telling me, like, hey, you know, them cookies that you made, you need to sell them. And I just took a picture, and when it took off, I just kind of fell into Ashley's Famous Cookies. It wasn't never really like my dream, but I love baking, so exactly. Yeah. So that was my first passion project as a mom, to where I was like, I just felt like, as a black woman who could never land a job after they saw I was black, and I didn't have a degree, and then we grew up in the era of, like, a degree means you get a job. If you don't have a degree, you can't get the job. Like I said, influencership wasn't something I took seriously, because what can you do with that up until, like, really 2019? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So boom, the cookies, that was me, like, I almost say it was like my villain origin story. Like, I'm finna show y'all. Yeah. I might not have no degree. I might be a single mom. I might be in my 20s with a kid and no man, but I'm finna show y'all I can still make something happen.
I love that.
And so that's really how I pivoted, but people don't know that, because they either know rapper me or baker me. They don't know there's, like, so many levels on how I even got to where I am now. Wow. I think there was a lot of underlying trauma that pushed me to be so, like, goal driven. Yeah. But people just thought, like, why is this girl always just so, like, go, go, go? But I just recently did some shadow work and was like, you was trying to prove yourself.
Proving yourself is honestly my favorite motivation. Yeah. Without saying too much, I ended up working for the federal government because I was trying to prove a point to somebody. I did an internship program right after high school and did it for 2 years. I didn't go to college. And at the end of my second year, the guy that was my team leader and essentially my mentor throughout the entire year was like, hey, man, you might want to go back to Birmingham and get a warehouse job or something like that, because you're never going to be able to transfer into this field without going to college. Like, it ain't going to happen. And that just blew my mind that you really believe that you can tell me I can't do something. Exactly. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, do you not know who I am? And, like, to have the confidence to still try. It's always the signs that's the mark of a crazy motherfucker right there. No, for real. Like, if you know that, like, you don't have none of the things it takes to make this thing happen, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna show you. That's amazing to me. Yeah. With each one of those roles that you have, who's the person that gives you the most fulfillment in each one of those roles? Like, mother, rapper, baker.
That was kind of where the fall off came, because I was starting to feel like I was having imposter syndrome. Like, I don't know who I am at this point. Yes. And I freaked out.
For real?
Freaked out. Fair. I had, like, an identity crisis. Like, I was just like, I don't know who I am behind all of these things, and I had to take a step back. So I realized that, like, at the end of the day, I was pouring into everything else, but I wasn't really pouring into my own self-identity. And so, like, I took some time to really just, like, slow down. Like, I slowed all the way down to the point where, like, now I'm coloring. You know, like, I'm trying to read again. I have friends, like, who are on the other side of the extreme. Like, I'm the go-getter friend, and then they're the ones that's like, just sit down. Like,
let life be life. Yes. And keep going. Yes. And you just stay.
Yes, like, let's just go sit. Let's not talk. Let's just sit under this tree. I grew up in a household where, like, if you're not doing something productive, what are you doing? What are you doing? And so my nervous system, if I'm not in a constant state of trying to, like, make something happen, my nervous system makes me feel like, ooh, like, you're too still. Yeah. What you resting for? Yeah. And so I've been trying to learn how to just be more and just chill and really, really lean more into my feminine energy.
Mm-hmm. It was almost like we were brought up as like being complacent is a bad thing.
Yes.
And at some point, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with stopping the chase and being comfortable with where you at. But at the same time, ambition takes over.
Yeah.
Ambition takes over and that ego takes over. And I want to keep going. I want to see what I can do.
Yes.
And it's like you know you're capable.
Yeah.
And you know that this belongs to other people. Yeah. Like, I have to give to everybody else what I have.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to get over that hump and be like, all right, time to come back to it.
And that's where I'm at now. I'm just trying to, like, move with more discernment and be like, okay, I'm really trying to get, like, to a place where I'm more comfortable with God ordering my steps. But at the same time, like, understanding I have to help co-create whatever I want. Like, I have to show up. Yeah. If I'm just hiding behind the four walls of my home and nothing's happening, well, of course, because you're not putting yourself out there. Exactly. So, like, with dealing with a lot of, like, strategy and algorithms, it also takes me deeper on my spiritual journey because I'm like, you know, sometimes a piece of content won't move for days. And you'll be like, oh, my God, was it me? Like, was that lame? Like, did I not do well in that video? Yeah. But it's just the algorithm hasn't put it in front of who it needs to be seen by yet. Okay. And so sometimes, like, it's just like planting a seed. It might be 3-4 months later before somebody goes, I saw that video you made in 2023 and we want to sign you for a bigger podcast. But that video might have 23 views on it. And it might have not been popular with the audience that's watching you right now. Yeah. But don't delete it. Because the algorithm will eventually put it in front of who it needs to. And so even in real life, I'm like, outside of the internet and the virtual world, if I don't show up and put myself out there in the real world, how can I make friends? How can I join communities that are more aligned with me? Yeah. So that's where I'm like, when people say, what are you doing right now? I'm like, I'm in my spacebar season. Like, I just put a period at the end of that last sentence.
That's tough.
I haven't started the next capital letter yet. I'm just right here.
That's tough.
And I'm chilling.
Yeah, and you okay with that? There's nothing wrong with being okay with that.
I'm leaving room for God to do what he need to do because I've been trying so hard to just, like, be in control. Yeah. In my 20s, like, I dealt with so much stuff on the back end that people don't know about me. I learned that, like, you cannot be in control all the time. Like, Ash, you gotta just sometimes let things just trust. Like, having faith when you comfortable is one thing. But when you ain't got nothing... That's when you be like, okay, when your great aunts and them used to be rolled over during the tornado, and you like, you ain't gonna hide? And she be like, no, because it's gonna be just fine. It's gonna be fine. That's where I'm trying to get to.
They used to say, if you had everything, would you pray? You know? So without nothing, you know, everybody want to pray the most then and ask for the most help, but it's like, you here for a reason. Yeah. And it's about learning while you're in that space for that time.
Exactly. Like, you need to be still for a moment. It's literally like the seasons, like, fall and winter are literally designed for you to harvest and then rest. That's literally, so when spring comes, things
you out and run.
Exactly.
Everything blooms.
Exactly.
That's such a good analogy because, like, we are one with the world. We function with the world. We're supposed to operate the same way. So exactly like you said, when it's fall, this is time for you to rest, you plan, you prepare. So when spring comes, you can put your best foot forward and spring forward. Yes. It's important. As a creator and a mother, how do you think about your own legacy and what you're leaving behind? Yeah. And how do you view that?
I try not to get too wrapped up into it. I know this sounds crazy, but, like, I come from a very strong family of people who are just, if they're not entrepreneurs, they're just real heavy hitters in the world. Like, they go, go, go. Yeah. And it's always the legacy talk. It's always the legacy talk. Okay. Me and my siblings, we laugh and joke because we've seen empires that have been built in my family, like literal Black history, be torn down because of one thing that someone 2 generations later didn't take care of. And we've seen, like, divorces or, like, things happen to where everything that you were trying to create a legacy for, if you're not in the space of the bloodline that you created with that other person, they don't even know you unless I say you did this. And I think, like, legacy, sometimes when I just hear people talk about it, I'm like, at the end of the day, I want to make sure that I leave behind some kind of security for my family.
Mm-hmm.
But I've seen, like when I say I've seen some big things just get chopped down to nothing at the drop of a dime because you don't have control over what people care about when you're no longer here. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, as far as my kids, even with baking, like I never was like, y'all need to be running that business when I don't want to do it no more. I just want to give them the foundation and the knowledge to understand, like, on your own journey, let me leverage you the best I can.
That's it.
But no matter what you do with that leverage, I'm not going to be mad at you because I understand that it's the ego of man to be like, oh my God, like, I want my great grandkids to have lands and this and that.
All of these things. Does it matter to them?
Most of them don't care.
You don't care.
And the best thing you can do if it's that important to you, put in a trust.
There you go. I think as a parent these days, our generation have shifted to the mindset of like, I don't want my kids to have a business to take over this and that and the third. I want my kid to have options.
And that's Simply the thing. My dad always talks about like a trust fund and stuff. Like when it comes to like land and property and things that like generate money on their own, that is something I want to eventually get to. Mm-hmm. Like I want what I'm doing now to get me to a place where I can step back in my 40s and like kind of like fall off the scene and be just relaxing somewhere and letting that money make itself.
Yeah, and that's the goal. The new goal is to retire at 40. To be done with all the BS.
50 too late, and not because you old.
And not because you old.
Because my parents are beautiful and look so young at 50. It's not that. It's just because I feel like that's where they get you to where you halfway scared to let it go.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good point.
Because you know that's 60 right there,
and
you
right
be like, I don't have enough time to test out this I let it go theory.
Yeah.
Because that takes at least 5 years to see if you can sustain it.
Yeah.
Where if you let go at like 36 or 40 and it don't work out, okay, let me go on back in there. Exactly.
Yeah. You can go back to the drawing board.
Exactly.
That's so big. Having like passive income is definitely the goal.
Yeah.
And I want my kids to have that option, but like my kid, what's your kids? Slow down, I'm scared.
He just manifested the whole child.
No. I take that.
Your wife looking at it is like, do you know something? I don't know, because they say y'all know before we know.
No, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. Don't see nothing. No.
I'm gonna just tell you congratulations.
It be your own people that want to see you go down. I'm scared of another child, real life, because
it's scary out here.
I'm just scared I'm gonna have another daughter. Like that's it. Like I don't care if I had a son. I'm cool. Yeah. I can have 2 more kids and all they be boys. I'm cool with that. Yeah. But I can't handle another girl.
I have one girl and it really has made me grow as a person.
Really?
Because she be on my head.
Them girls don't play.
And I be on my family's head, and I'm like the only girl, so I'm like, I'm getting it back. Ooh, it's scary.
My daughter is turning into the family manager.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
She don't.
That's what it is.
She said this to my wife. She said, "Mommy, you forgot my water bottle again." I said, "Oh shit." I'm in the living room. Like, they finna fight. They about to fight. That's crazy. They about to fight. And then Kiana was like, I packed your lunch. Your snacks are in there. Everything was in there, and you could have went and got a milk. You forgot my water, Mommy. I just want you not to forget again.
I just want you to not forget. My daughter told me, she was like, can we do a blow-up? I said, we can do it tomorrow. She said, it's always tomorrow with you.
Ooh.
She said, and mind you, she's 4.
Ooh.
She was saying this at 3.5.
Ooh.
She was like, every time it's tomorrow, it's tomorrow, it's tomorrow. I said, are you calling me a procrastinator?
Definitely did.
She be on my head. She be on my
Definitely
head.
did.
Every day, man. And I love it because I need that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that she sees me for who I really am. Mm-hmm. And she's not afraid to call me out. I'm the person in the family who, if somebody needs something to be said, Ashley, don't say it.
Hey,
so,
we one in the same.
You know what I'm saying?
Mind.
Yeah, I'll tell it.
Elect me. I'll do it. I don't mind. I don't give a fuck.
So it feels good because I always tell my family, I said, if people don't feel comfortable telling you about yourself, that's not your true friend.
That's not your friend.
Tell me. I don't want to be out here looking crazy.
No.
Like, when he said pull your shirt down,
thank you. Friend. Thank you.
Because I don't want to be out here looking like a big back on the podcast.
Do you get the episode back? Bitch, what is this?
Look,
we got to do it over.
And it's the whole time the shirt just flicked up.
Cause now I'm mad at you. Cause like I don't really trust. Now you gonna take me. I don't really trust your cameraman for real.
Exactly. And he knew. He was watching.
He was looking at us, watching. Hey, I feel that though. Cause I'm a brutally honest friend. Like I'm gonna make it like brutal. Like when I'm being honest with you, because like I would want you to do the same to me.
And don't call me if you don't want a solution, cause it's gonna. I don't mind if you want me to just listen and go.
You gotta say that. You gotta say that.
That's crazy. Okay, I can do that. Just tell me that's what you want.
I need a prerequisite, because if you just call me, you telling me some shit. Well, damn, bro, it kind of sounds like you just need to not be a dickhead. Like what? And then it's like, bro, but she was wrong. Yeah, bro. Actually, yeah, she was wrong, bro. You right. Sorry.
Yeah, facts.
I'm on your side.
Because we all be delusional, but like you need at least one or two people in your circle that's gonna tell you or know how to approach you with it. Because we all handle like things differently. Some people can take it real blunt. Some people, like me, I'm the type of person I ain't gonna want to hear it. Give me 2 minutes, I'll be back and be like, you right. Yes, just like that.
Start mean with me.
Like Ash. You really need to use that lotion because your skin, man, my skin fine. 2 minutes later, Mom, can I get that lotion? You tell me about that.
You sitting there, you be like this, that knuckle is shit. When you get into your mode of like ready to create content, like do you have a motto? Do you have a vibe that you like to create, or do you just jump right into it?
So funny thing, if anybody who's listening right now, what I'm in now is my inner child content creator mode.
Okay.
So all the sexy, all the I need to have a perfect posture in my hair, my makeup. I ain't in that season no more.
Okay.
I'm in my my mom said you are finally showing them what you do at home. And that's just troll. I think like with the cookie business and like even with the rapping and stuff, it was still kind of like a certain persona I felt like needed to go with that brand.
Yeah.
And that's why Ash Unlimited is so important to me, because I'm like, no, I'm really just a goofy person and I'm ready to just be myself.
Yeah.
I'm tired of I gotta uphold like a certain type of persona. So now I tell myself the same way anime was secretly being watched the whole time, but nobody wanted to say that. I'm like, everybody thinks there's such an individual, right? That
no,
you are the only person. Oh my God, I don't know. You just aren't around the community of people who do what you do.
Yeah.
No matter how
100%.
weird it is.
Hey.
No matter how weird it is. If you got a foot fetish, I promise you, it's some guys out there. It's a feed for you. If you want to marry a tree, I promise you're not the only guy who want to marry a tree. You just your people. So when you creating content, you gotta go into it
that's so fun.
I'm finna just do me and trust the algorithm gonna put it in front of the people who will accept me being my true self. Because here's the thing I learned. I truly believe that with my personality and I'm into astrology and the way my signs are aligned, anything I do blows up. So I need to stop doing things that aren't aligned with me. I need to do things
that was so fire to say. Oh, I want to be like you when I grow up.
No, I'm serious. I need to only do things that I want to do.
Yeah. Because
if not, I'm going to end up being in a field of work that I didn't really care about because I just did it on a whim because I saw the potential in it, but it's not really aligned with me.
First thing first, I think being unapologetically yourself is the biggest thing when it comes to content creating.
You got to.
You have to, because the first time that people get an inkling that you're just faking it, it's over with, first of all. That's raps. Because don't nobody want to really be a follower of somebody who's faking it anyway.
Exactly. And the whole follower thing, right? It's that makes me uncomfortable because I feel I wish it was more so this is your community.
Yeah.
Or they took the word friends away and made it followers 10 years ago. But people want to feel you're there for them the same way they're there for you. And even if you can't respond to every comment or whatever, they know that that video was made with the intention to be as genuine to whoever that is as possible. And the moment you steer away from that, people will see it.
Yeah.
And it's so much content being made. The only way you can really be different is you. Because that's the thing you're marketing, the TikTok shop or the product that you're wearing, you ain't the only person trying to push that. So what makes you different from every other person on the internet is just literally you. They're there for you.
Yourself. It's so important. I got to a point, like with my job, like my career is awesome. Don't get me wrong. Like every facet of it, I get to make a difference in the world. I get to go and go to people when they're at their worst in their life and help them to their back at a good point. It's rewarding work. I make good money. I get to travel. I don't have to pay for it at all. So everything about it is amazing, but I'm just not happy anymore. 2 or 3 weeks ago, whenever I hit black about recording again on our own without C, I was just like, bro, I'm not happy. And being in front of this microphone makes me so happy. Okay. I enjoy this.
Now you digging.
Yes.
Plot twist. I don't want to bake no more.
Why?
I don't want to do it. But I struggled because I felt guilty for saying that out loud.
Ain't nothing wrong with that though.
But when everybody's like, man, like you went back to the whole like, oh man, you can do whatever you want to do. Sometimes I feel like people feel like I'm being ungrateful for an opportunity that God has given me because I cut it off so quick.
Oh my God. You saying something.
You know what I'm talking about?
But because for other people to looking at that opportunity, they think that's the biggest thing in the world. And why would you give that up? I feel that. That's how I feel about my career right now. People look at me like I'm crazy when I say I want to be done with it. But it's like...
Hey, transparent moment.
Oh my God, that's so real.
When I did that Nolans Po' Boys video, I didn't have a dime to my name.
Go crazy.
They still jump until this day.
Go crazy.
I said, okay, I see what the Spacebar season look like. Because when you ask God to use you,
don't he get to use it?
It's like, wait a minute, like, and it's not because like I don't want anybody to like pop off. That was the whole point. But I'm now understanding that like when I had a lot, it was a lot easier to just give away some kind of like exposure or whatever. But now I'm like, dang, okay, you really enjoy marketing. You really enjoy strategy. You really enjoy creating concepts that help other people and then walking away. And that used to be my biggest downfall because I was taught to like lock in. And I had a conversation with my parents that like, my ultimate goal is to get paid top dollar to walk in with a strategy and walk out. I don't want to necessarily have to be the brand. I want to just help other brands. And so like, you know what I'm saying? Because like, I'm this ADHD creator. I literally be like all over the place. Like I could walk in and be like, you know what you need to do? And it could change somebody's whole trajectory. But I used to feel like the only way I could prove the point was to tie myself
to the whole project and everything that goes along with it.
Exactly.
Pour all of you into it. Like we said beforehand, not pour it into yourself.
Exactly.
I hear you.
So now I'm doing content, but my pockets are real short right now. And I understand that like, okay, my income is low because clearly I don't have a job right now for real. But I also understand that like I have to fully let go of that Like I was really married to that job. I tell people like me and AFC was in a marriage, and now that I'm coming up on year 7 of that business, I'm like, that's what they say about these marriages. If you can get past year 7, you might be okay. Woo! And I struggle because I'm like, do I need to dig deep and fall back in love with you? Or do I need to let you go? And I had to get the courage to be like, I'm doing everything. And at this point, even if it was to work out, I don't want to do it anymore. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this from, again, like I said, it's from the perspective of me looking in. So when you do that, you did that segment on the news. How do you feel about allowing that to leave as well as going away from the cookies? Or do you see yourself possibly getting back into that same space, but like doing something else? Yeah.
The local one or the national one?
The local one that you did.
So I have some connections up there, and I have done a segment on Ash Unlimited before. Okay, I do think it was about the Link Up Meetup.
Oh, okay.
I do think that if I really wanted to like go on there and promote something, I could. I just, you know, at this time don't have anything too solid of a foundation that I feel like I need to speak to the public. I will tell you this. Who you are at your core and the connections that you make are a lot stronger than the identity you tie yourself to. So, like, if you leave your job, don't think that you still can't use that as a vessel for something else. Because I think sometimes we get so attached to the brand of what we're doing. Yeah. And we're like, oh my God, like, that was a big part of it. Like, I don't know if you know this, but, like, I do national news a lot. Like, millions of people. I just don't I don't pub it on my personal page because it's so bigger than me.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with the audience that watches my account.
Okay.
I'll send you a link and you'll see what I'm saying.
For sure.
But I say that to say I had to realize like there's a possibility that like they might call me and want to do like a Christmas segment. And I was like telling my family, I'm going to have the courage this time to tell them I'm not baking anymore, but I do have another pitch if you want to use that. But I'm not baking anymore because I feel like my connections with people are strong enough now to where if you truly support me as a person, you'll find a way to use your resources to help my new situation. But I wasn't in that space until like the last 6 months. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was really afraid to let go of AFC because it was so many like plugins with it.
Yeah.
And it was getting me through a lot of doors. But I was like, the longer you hold on to this, you're just going to get further and further off into that sea. And you don't want to do it.
You want to be there. Wow. You speaking to my soul right now. Real life. Not even just saying that because you're the guest. Because like I'm just going through a lot right now when it comes to like I literally, like you said, an identity crisis. I've been in my career for 11 years, like working for the Department of Homeland Security for 11 years.
And you got that family that you trying to support.
Exactly.
You don't want to feel like you being selfish by letting go of the privilege to say no to something like that. Yeah. Whereas other people like, if I even had what you had,
I wouldn't even let it go.
Suck it, and that's how they got our parents. Suck it up because you just need to be happy you even have a job that can provide you the lifestyle you live in.
Yeah.
Part of having a job is just slight misery that comes with it, but you're getting paid.
Yeah, and I don't understand that. I love my parents to death, but I saw you coming home from work. I saw you miserable. What about that makes me want to be like, let me find a job where like, as long as I ain't as miserable, but like I can deal with it. I don't think that should be a part of the contract. Stress carries over. No matter how you try to decompress before you get home, it carries over. So like if you stress the hell out at work, you're not just going to show up at home and be your best version of yourself. And then on top of that, like, not be stressful. It just doesn't just go away.
Me and my son, and I recorded as much as I could. I asked him, like, can I have consent? I said, you gonna free some people with this. I haven't posted it because I'm too scared. It was like the wokest conversation we've had thus far. He's 7. It was just like one late night. And you know how when kids just get to talking and they can't stop? And I was like, let me not get in the way because somebody's using you right now. Just say what you need to say. And he was like, Mama, I'm 7 because he creates content. So he gets home from school. He does his video games. He's recording the content. He puts it on YouTube. Like, he's like serious. He's working with my dad with like real estate properties, trying to make money on the side for a PC with a faster processing system. Like, he's got this whole dream.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, talk to me. He said, Mom, you really don't have a lot of time to figure out what you want to do. He said, I'm 7 and I'm already feeling the pressure. He said, by 14, if we don't really know what we want to do, we're screwed. He said, because when you turn 18, the world expects you to know what you want to do for the rest of your life. This is a 7-year-old telling me this.
Wow.
He said, I want to be a professional gamer, but I'm not eligible to play yet. So right now, I'm just playing to just get my skills up.
Yeah.
He said, but he said at the same time, he said, it's really up to y'all, the parents, to pour into whatever we're doing. He said, because our childhood is really just supposed to be us creating without the pressure of doing it for money.
Yep.
He said, y'all trying to create from a place of monetization. And that's why y'all can't lean into it because of basically the scarcity mindset. He was like, whatever it is we're good at, when y'all see that, y'all have to tap in, because he said by the time we're 14, if we don't have it figured out by then. And I'm saying it to say, I try to give the generation above us, like, grace, because that's literally what happened. We are trying to put food on the table. This ain't about what I love to do. And because they did that, they were able to give us opportunity to have the luxury to have this conversation. But with that, if we don't make the right choices, we feel like one step back and we back where they were.
Exactly.
So it's a constant battle.
It's a battle
between, do I stay where I'm at and I'm complacent emotionally and spiritually, but my kids have no clue because they laughing and joking and think life is great.
I'm stressed.
But I'm stressed. And my reality ain't my family's reality, because I'm like, this is not what it almost gets to the point you can't walk through the door. And when you there, you disassociating yourself just to get through the day because you like, I felt bad because I'm like, the luxury to bake and not have to be bothered by nobody, make my own schedule, and then it's sweets. Like, I'm just feeding everybody, like, cookies. And I don't want to do this no more.
Like cookies.
You're such a spoiled brat for that. You know what I'm saying?
But still, though, like it's a process that goes into it. It's not just I wake up, I throw these things together, and it comes out perfect.
Lot.
It's a process.
It's a lot.
Because let me tell you something. That damn cake you made me for our anniversary. Hey,
I was so happy when you finally got that cake. I was so happy. I tried to make it with love too, man.
It was good. We enjoyed the hell out of it. And when I got it to the crib, like we finally cut into it, I was like, God damn! Like I'm thinking to myself, like in my head, it's just a cake.
Yeah.
So when you sent me the price, I was like, it's gotta be a cake.
Yeah.
It's a cake.
Yeah.
And I was like, either way it go, I was gonna pay for it. Regardless of what you sent me, I was gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
When I got home.
Yeah. You liked it?
It's fine. That was crazy.
Right, I came up with that.
That was crazy. Was that your first time doing that? With the cookie and the cake together?
That was so you and like 2 other people have ordered that cake before. And I just like, it's a few things I've just been like, is this a concept? I'm not gonna say I invented that because I did see somebody made a cookie cake with like chocolate chip and white cake. But I was like, nah, strawberry crunch though.
That was insane.
I ain't never seen that one.
With
the white chocolate icing, because you would think the cookie gonna be too dense.
That part.
But I noticed that if you let the cake sit for a day, it almost moistens it all back. I don't know if y'all had cake left over, but I noticed that instead of the cookie getting drier, which was my concern because cookies can dry out quick, that moistness from the cake in the middle almost helps soften the cookie back up. Because I don't even notice, but like if you put bread with cookies or like brown sugar, anything stale, it's exactly. So I was like, oh my God, this is a genius concept.
Wow.
Because
that's the science in the cake.
Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
Dad joke. I had to get one in.
Yeah.
That's dope.
No, there was pudding in there.
For real?
Yeah, white chocolate, like mixed pudding.
No jokes around here. Ain't no jokes around here. It's nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
Hey, but it was an amazing cake. So, do you have a bigger vision for yourself? Like, what does it look like 5 years from now?
5 years from now, I want to be in a space to where I've built up a brand around my own personal self. I think like I've built up so many other brands, even when they were my own businesses, it wasn't me. And I think it was because I was so afraid to come to my light all the way. So I would always hide behind something like, I'm hiding behind Ashley's Famous Cookies, or I'm hiding behind like my rapper persona or something like that. But Ash Unlimited, I started a YouTube and I'm posting on there once a week, and I'm like really trying to just motivate and get people to come into their purpose. And I really enjoy that. I enjoy helping people find who they are and almost like taking the ideas people have and bringing them to life with something that sounds realistic. And I want to be able to, with smaller brands and bigger brands, be able to go into the world and just really help people manifest their biggest dreams. And then on a smaller scale, women who've been through like relationship issues or just looking for purpose outside of just like motherhood and being a wife or whatever, like I want to help people really find out who they are. So that's what Ash Unlimited for me is going to be. Me finally accepting that I am an amazing, awesome person and there's nothing wrong with that, and I don't have to be insecure about shining bright.
There you go.
And whatever that looks like, the people who want to support that will support that, and I don't have to dim my light to be accepted by people.
Boom.
For real. Because that's what I've really struggled with my whole life.
Yeah.
Like feeling like an outsider. Like I'm that loner who knows everybody.
That's so funny.
Like I'd really just be rocking with myself.
Yeah.
And I have friends, but I'm like the friend of the friend with friends.
Okay, same.
You know what I'm saying? And I've just always been like, I don't feel comfortable being my full self because I don't identify with the communities around me completely. It's like a 60% match here and a 70% match here. But this season, I'm like, I'm not putting no limits on what I can do. I'm accepting the fact that I have a voice and people want to hear what I have to say, and I want to use it wisely and be discerned about what I'm doing. but also understanding that like however big that gets, it's just up for God to decide. And I'm not gonna limit myself by trying to keep boxing myself in just to claw myself back out when I knew from the jump I didn't really halfway want to do that. No way.
That's fair enough. Okay. I hate being in that space so much. Question.
Yeah.
What song describes your journey? Caveat. Just a caveat. That song gonna be snipped into this moment right here. So you know what I'm saying? Get in your bag a little bit.
I'm gonna say Era 3.
Okay.
I don't know the name of the artist because, like I said, I've been on some new stuff, so I don't know these people's names yet. But Era 3, I think that's what we gonna plug in right here. Oh, and I'll be 30 in a month. Ooh. So that's actually like, I want to do a photo shoot and play that song. 30? Era 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I just turned 30 a couple weeks ago.
We gotta talk off.
Gotta talk. My check engine light on my knees came in on the next morning. Boy, we was at the resort. I said, what the hell?
I was like low-key scared but excited all at the same time.
Scared what?
Not of the 30s, but just I feel like there was so much turbulence in my 20s. I'm trying to make peace with what it was. Okay. And just be like, hey, leave it on the table and we just gotta move forward. Okay.
This will be my closing question for you. If you can put another hustler in that seat right now, who would it be and why do you feel like they should be there?
I think Chef J-Rock.
Okay.
He is an Auburn alumni. He's we went to school together, but he has built like this big brand around his chef, his business, and like I think he's now like the cook at the school, like at Auburn.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he just does a lot of things. I know he like secured a lot of land with his wife and like was working on some things with that. Then he's also a part of the Tax Wiz group, the black guys from Auburn who built the tax return business, Tax Wiz. Okay. So they're like a startup that's like taking over. Yeah. He just has been so consistent. And his brand is like legit. And I've never seen him fold publicly to the point where I know he be going through stuff. Yeah. But it seemed like he's really mastered how to push through every season. And now that it's been like 10, 11, 12 years since college, and to see him, when I met him the first day, and if he watches this, I'll never forget. I was a freshman and I was in the student center and he was like, hey, you need to come to so-and-so tonight. And I didn't know what he was talking about. And I got there and he had pledged that night. It revealed his face. And that was when I knew he was somebody special. Because the way he just rounded people up, he had that aura about himself. And to see him go from just an adolescent to an adult and just take over in what he does, I'm like, he's really mastered the business mindset behind being a creative. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Which is, I think, the hardest part. Because a lot of us, we know how to create, but then how to, like, make that actually be something that, like, you want to talk about legacy? Yeah. He looks like he's on his way to, like, okay, you have longevity. This is a real foundation. That's amazing. And I love everything he's doing, him and his wife. Okay. So, yeah. And then I think it would be cool. See, I'm doing it now. Because you're a husband too. Yeah. I would love to see you dig his brain because he's not single. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of these men hustling, bustling, trying to get their money first, and then they gonna bag somebody to go with it. But him and his wife been like grinding the whole way together, and we saw that publicly. And they're still with they just had a child, I think like a year or two ago, and seeing them still keep that consistentness, I'm like, they really mastered how to just make this happen at a young age. Yeah. So I would love to hear more from him, and like he even did like Food Network, like nice. the Chop Chef and stuff. Yeah. So I was like, I would love to just hear him talk more about like behind the scenes, like what is he doing to maintain all that.
We'll try to make it happen. I like that.
Justin. You need to come on the
show. please come on for an episode. So as we wrap up, again, I want to thank you so much for being here, being yourself, and being inspiring. People like you are the reason why this show exists, and we want to keep this stuff going. So let everybody know where they can find you, where they can follow you, or be a part of your community.
Follow me on TikTok as I am Ash Unlimited, and follow me on YouTube as I am Ash Unlimited. So those are the 2 platforms I'm on right now. If you want food reviews, hidden gems, or exploring around the city, or I'm trying to really go global with it, but right now we're in Alabama.
I feel.
If you want to check out some spots, be there. But if you're looking for something inspiring and more on like a spiritual tip, follow me on YouTube.
There it is. There's another episode of Talk Vibe Hustle. I am your host, K Boogie. We'll see y'all next time.